Hello flight sim captains, and welcome to this first look at something as unique as a new standalone plugin from aircraft developer Flight Factor, well known from numerous high quality aircraft releases in X-Plane. The plugin that we are going to have a look at is called Airport Visual System, or AVS. Please be aware that the plugin I'm going to show you in this video is still a pre-release version, but it's very close to being final, and I'm pretty confident in saying that it will not change much and will be released very soon. On the other hand, I don't know anything about price or an exact date for the release, so just to let you know, I'll not be able to answer those questions in the comment section. Now, in order for me to demonstrate the plugin, I'm going to show you a short flight from Kilo Juliet Foxtrot Kilo to Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo, John F. Kennedy International to Newark Liberty. Now, we're in the default Cessna 172, and we are currently situated at the east ramp in John F. Kennedy International. And there's a good reason for that, because that gives me the opportunity to show you where this plugin comes in extremely handy, specifically when navigating around airports. So without further ado, let's have a look at Airport Visual System, or AVS, and plan our taxi from the ramp to the runway. First, let's bring up the plugin window on the screen so you can all see what I'm talking about and can show you what it does. Let's start by moving the window and dragging it so it's easier to see what's going on. As you can see, we have different tabs in the top bar, and we're currently in the Airports tab, thus showing the airport map. We're in heading mode, meaning that the map is rotated so that our aircraft heading will always point up. This is our origin or departure airport. The layout is shown as default, but can be changed in different ways, as I'll show you in a second. And lastly, we can see and change the ICAO code of the airport you want to navigate. Here's our aircraft. You can see the field elevation of the airport in the lower right corner, and if we move the mouse over runways, we'll be able to see its length and surface in the lower left corner. Let's go into the Options menu by clicking the Airports tab here, and then go to Options. Here we can change how the view of the map is operated, the graphics mode, how smooth it'll look. We can tick and untick different objects, taxiway signs, traffic. Here you'll be able to follow X-Plane default AI traffic if this is activated. NDB, VOR and ILS frequencies, and surrounding terrain in addition to the appearance of terrain on the map. Furthermore, you can choose the way the zoom is operated and hide or unhide windsocks. Now on to the main purpose of the plugin, airport navigation. Let's plan our taxi to the runway by going into the taxiways menu. Now all taxi lines will show, and we can point and click the route we want to use to get to the runway. Let's first click the ramp spot here. Now we can either simply click a taxiway point on the runway for the plugin to calculate the best way to get to that runway. Or let's just clear the taxiway route. We can make our own taxiway route by clicking our way through like this. I think you get the picture. Let's just clear the route and go with the calculated one. And accept, and our taxiway route turns magenta. And now let's do the same for our arrival airport, Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo. We're planning a landing on runway 29. So we should be able to vacate the runway around here and taxi up here to our parking spot here. And accept. We'll not be using an alternate airport, but as you can see, it's also possible to plan a taxiway route at an alternate airport. Now let's go back to our departure and minimize the window. Now let's get going and see how this plugin will help us along the way. As you can see, the map rotates so that our aircraft heading is always pointing upwards. Now we'll just follow the magenta line towards the runway. If the window gets in our way, we can always make it transparent so that we can see what's going on underneath the window and at the same time still be able to see the map. Now we just got to get this aircraft in the air, and then we are going to have a look at an additional feature. Now that we are airborne, we just need to get to a safe altitude before engaging the autopilots. Let's turn on the autopilot and have a look at an additional feature of the plugin. If we go into the Charge tab here, Then we'll be able to load any saved chart, or for that matter any file, whenever it's a PDF, JPEG, PNG, or whatever you name it. Let's just pick Calvi for this example and maximize the window to better be able to see what we are looking at. We can move the document around to be able to zoom in on exactly the part you want. Now this is a PDF file with more than one page, so we are able to go to the next page and we can rotate the document just as we like. That way you'll always have your chart on the screen and don't need to navigate back and forth between different windows to watch the chart. Okay folks, let's change the view to our destination. And fast forward until we're getting closer to Newark. Welcome back. As you can see on the map, we're approaching Newark Liberty runway 29. Now let's just get this aircraft safe down. Flaps are full. I've toggled off the autopilot and will be hand flying the aircraft down to the runway, which we have straight ahead. As you can see, I've zoomed in on the runway for us to better be able to see when we'll vacate the runway. Let's fast forward again until we can see the aircraft approaching the runway on the map. Now that we can see our aircraft on the map coming in towards runway 29, let's get safe down on the ground. we're safe on the ground. Now let's just vacate the runway as soon as possible and then follow our planned taxi route, the magenta line, to our planned parking spots. As you've maybe noticed, the view mode is centered, which means that it will be positioned at a fixed spot and will not rotate with the aircraft heading like previously. Final thoughts about this plugin. As shown, it's really useful when navigating around airports. The charts feature is also very useful. An additional browser feature like in the Flight Factor Airbus 320 EFB would be welcomed, and besides that I could easily see this plugin go even further and evolve into a full electronic flight bag with flight planning capabilities. But then again, I don't know if that's what Flight Factor are aiming towards. That's just my silly ideas. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and liked what you've seen. If so, don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more useful and entertaining content. Thank you so much for watching and see you very soon.